optional anymore. Why should you even consider becoming a GenAI engineer in 2025? So ever since ChatGPT became a reality, I think a lot of us have started to use ChatGPT for daily stuff. For example, the last time I used ChatGPT was to give me a diet plan for losing my weight, and I helped my other friends create diet plans for them, or like gym workout plans for them, or write emails for them, etc., etc., so that a human role elimination can happen. For example, now you don't really need a gym trainer in order to understand what is right for you to eat and right for you to work out. Right? All you can do is like tell ChatGPT what's your weight, height, and what do you want to do, and what kind of diet you follow, and you suddenly have everything. Right? So what I'm trying to tell you is that people are now getting used to using GenAI a lot, and the more we actually try to incorporate it in our life, the more we see that we don't necessarily need a lot of human involvement at a lot of other places. Right? So that is what is happening, and a lot of companies are trying to understand the potential that it has in itself, because of which companies like Google, Goldman Sachs, Meta, they're all laying off people or canceling or eliminating roles by which they're saving a lot of cost, because they are now using that money in order to invest in AI. So that's the whole idea right now. Okay, so AI right now is not just a buzzword, it's changing the rules of the game. Okay, so right now also, if you try to talk about the word AI, the industry demand is really, really becoming very high. So a lot of companies have started to invest in it. Even my company, Intuit, we have a lot of stuff that's happening around AI. So we just yesterday we launched a new product called as IES, which is Intuit Enterprise Services, and Intuit Enterprise Suite, and it has a lot of AI features incorporated in it. So imagine a new product that a company is releasing with a lot of like sprinkling of AI. This is really trying to say something. The industry demand right now for AI is extremely high, and the world is moving towards AI at a very fast pace. The market is also very huge, around 1 trillion market by global market by 2034, and the adoption is also extremely high. Okay, so in the market, it's actually wild. It is not just a trend anymore; it's the new standard right now. So generative AI is reshaping the global economy, and India being the tech center for most of the major companies, India happens to lead the way. Okay, so this program that we are having a first free demo session for is technically one of those opportunities for you to be a part of that change. Okay, so you would now notice a lot of new kind of roles are appearing. For example, applied AI and generative AI roles, AI strategy and consulting, multi-agent systems or applied multi-agent system roles, and GenAI roles, cross-functional emerging roles, and software and research roles. So if you are somebody who's still in college or still working at a major company, you would most probably align yourself with either strategy consulting or software engineering, right? So you can see that how these words or these domains are also expanding in the world of AI. So on your screen right now, there are just a few different types of designations that have emerged in the last few years that is enabling people to use AI a lot into their daily life. Okay, so AI, which is the web developer's ally, AI is not going to replace programmers right now, but the programmers who will actually start to use AI. Okay, so if you are somebody who does not want to get replaced by AI, then start using AI yourself. So the roles that I have on my screen right now, they didn't really exist 2 years ago. Today, they are amongst the highest paid roles. So in this particular course outline, we will all be simulating how a GenAI engineer builds something today in this live session. Okay, so that's what we are going to do. So the agenda for today's session would be to learn about LLMs, to create LLM integration, how to connect with LLMs, what are the things we need to know, paid or free, and tokens. So these are the things that we will be studying in today's class. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so now, like that this is a free demo of Coding Ninja's advanced certification in GenAI and multi-agent systems. So what will you learn today right now is just a sneak peek into what you can learn in the upcoming 6 months with all the structured learning, mentorship, and projects. Okay, so the agenda that we have right now on my screen, it's a part of it all. Okay, let's try to understand LLMs. Okay, so right now, what are some of the most used LLMs? I think all of us use ChatGPT a lot, right? If not ChatGPT, then maybe Google Gemini. right? Do we all use ChatGPT and Google Gemini for our daily activities? Yes or no? Right? Okay. So now, a tool like ChatGPT, it has a lot of information, right? Like if you ask ChatGPT a medical question, or if you ask ChatGPT to write a poem, or you ask ChatGPT a recipe, or whether you ask ChatGPT a programming question, ChatGPT should be able to answer most of them, right? It is able to answer most of those situations or most of those questions. That's great. All right. So now let's try to go to a major product that we all use, that is Amazon. So have you guys placed an order on Amazon in the last 30 days? Most of you would have, right? Have you guys placed an order on Amazon in the last 30 days? Most of you would have. Okay, last 1 year. Last 1 year, of course you have, right? Now let's say I want to buy something from Amazon. Let's say I want to buy a book. Let's say I want to buy a book from on Amazon, okay? And I don't exactly know what book I want to buy, but I know what kind of book I want. For example, let's say I want a book for children and I want a fantasy book. Okay, like fiction, fantasy, something like Harry Potter, or something like something like Harry Potter, technically. Something like Harry Potter is what I want. Okay. Or something like The Alchemist. I mean, whatever. So I want a book for children so that when they read it, they find it interesting. Okay, something like Harry Potter, which is something most of us would have read or seen. Okay, so that's what I want. Okay, so I can just go to Amazon and I can type, let's say, Harry Potter book. Harry Potter book. Once I type this, I get all the books that I need, right? So I can just go and click on purchase and I will be able to buy it. Correct? I can just go click on purchase and I will be able to buy it. Correct? But now, let's say I don't know what book I want, but I ask Amazon a question like this: can you suggest me a book in fiction category that is about magic? So you as a human, can you tell me if Harry Potter books qualify for the answer of this question? Can you tell me if Harry Potter's book qualifies for the answer of this question? Right? It does, right? So if I press enter, does it give me a Harry Potter book? Technically, it doesn't. It gives me one book, that is The Canterville Ghost. That also is a sponsored book. That's the reason why it is here. Okay. But let's say if I open ChatGPT. So I'm opening ChatGPT now. Okay. And if I write, I mean, this is one question I previously asked. Can you suggest me a book in fiction category that is about magic? So the moment I ask ChatGPT this question, ChatGPT gives me 4 options. Right? It gives me 4 options. It says A Wizard of Earthsea, The Night Circus, The Magicians, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, etc. Right? So it gives me 4 options of books. Now, imagine if I wrote this prompt or if I wrote this sentence here and Amazon could give me a list of these 4 books, then don't you think it would be great as an end user? Don't you think it would be amazing if we can just give a prompt to Amazon and then Amazon can tell us what books are there? What do you think about it? Yes or no? Of course, it would be amazing, right? So imagine, let's say you have to buy a phone. You go to Amazon and you write, uh, can you suggest me, let's say, a phone with 2-day battery and 60K. Okay. Now, can Amazon give me a correct answer? It gives me a phone which is beyond 60K. Here it gives me a phone which is 20K fine, but again beyond 60K, beyond 60K, beyond 60K, like 35K fine, but like beyond 60K, and so on. So can you see that the results are not really accurate over here? Can you see that the results are not really accurate over here? Right? the results are not really accurate. But if I ask the same question to ChatGPT, no, it has a filter, of course, but I don't want to use the filter. I mean, I just you read my sentence and tell me the answer. Simple as that. See, if I gave the same prompt to ChatGPT now has three options: IQ 135G, Realme GT7 Pro, and OnePlus 13S. Right? So don't you think if Amazon could give me these three options on the top, don't you think it would be amazing? If I just write phone with 2-day battery under 60K, then don't you think it would be amazing if Amazon gave me these three options right away? Right? So what I'm speaking of right now is an example where you can use a general purpose LLM for your own business. Okay. This is an example where you can use a general purpose LLM like ChatGPT for your own business. So this is a general purpose LLM, okay, where you can make use of an existing LLM like ChatGPT in order to do something on your own application. Like Amazon is using the actual ChatGPT in order to get what kind of results to show to the user. Okay, but now think about it in a different manner. Let's say you are an insurance company. You are, let's say, at least 50 years old insurance company, and so many people right now have taken insurance from you, and you have data of 50 years of insurance, that is which user took what insurance and what was their financial capacity, or what kind of claims they did, which insurance category had the least claim approval rate, highest claim approval rate, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so let's say you are a company called as xyzinsurance.com, and what you want in your company's website is that whenever a person comes to your website, they should be able to know what insurance is good for them. Okay, they must know what insurance is good for them. Now you think about it like this: your insurance company has hired 100 people, and each of these 100 people's job is to help people in order to choose what insurance is good for them. Okay, that is the job of these 100 people. Now, at any point in time, if you're because your business is very big or your insurance company is very big, at any point in time, all of these 100 people can be busy. Are you understanding what I'm saying? All of these 100 people can be busy. Is that making sense to you? That if your insurance company is very big and suddenly a lot of people have turned 18, then of course they will want to buy insurance, and everybody wants to know what insurance is better for them. Therefore, everybody is calling your company, and these 100 people are picking up the call, and therefore they're always busy, and because of which reason new customers are finding it difficult to choose the right insurance for themselves. Are you able to understand what I'm saying? Yes or no? Okay, so this is what your company is doing. Now imagine that your company pays 10,000 rupees to each of these 100 people. So 10,000 rupees multiplied by 100. So 10,000 multiplied by 100 multiplied by 12 is equal to how much? 1 CR 20 lakhs. So 1.2 CR, right? 1.2 CR in a year. Now imagine, instead of giving this much amount of money to employees, what if you invested 1.2 CR in AI that does this job automatically for the company? So let's say you have a chatbot, or let's say you have a text box in your home page of your xyzinsurancecompany.com, and there a customer can write what kind of insurance they're looking for, what is their age, their weight, height, etc., health habits, and can get good suggestions on health insurance, life insurance, and other types of insurance that he or she needs. Then don't you think that you will be saving up 1.2 CR every single year by not paying salaries to people because you don't need them anymore? So if you don't pay salaries to these people, then you as a business are able to save more money. That means increase your revenue. Yes or no? right? So you are able to increase your revenue. You are not even under the pressure of increasing the salaries of your employees next year because you don't have those employees anymore, right? So short, you might have invested 1.2 CR for 1 year, but you are reaping the benefits of this 1.2 CR for many years to come with making you profitable. Okay, and this is the reason why companies are eliminating roles in the today's world. Okay, so now in order to build something like this, where your company can make use of an LLM, where the LLM knows everything about what insurance to buy and what not to buy, the LLM must be coming from your own company, from your own company's data. Okay, so ChatGPT or Gemini will not be trained under the information of the insurance from your company, right? They will not be trained on that data. So they will never know about it, right? They will never know about it. But you can make an LLM of your own and use the data of your company to train that LLM. Therefore, your LLM will know better what insurance suits what kind of customer. Are you able to see a point where you as a company have an incentive to make an LLM of your own? Are you able to understand what I'm saying? Okay, so this is where you as a company have an incentive to make an LLM of your own. Okay, and this is why companies hire GenAI related engineers so that they can do that job for that company. Okay, because from your company's perspective, it is not safe for your company to share all this information to a different company, which is OpenAI in this case. But it would be amazing if your company can make an LLM of their own and then share the information of your company with that LLM, because both the code bases are yours, and therefore training the data of your company on your own company's model is not a problem. Therefore, having an LLM which works and saves you a lot of amount of money by replacing people technically. Okay, so this is where computer science engineers or AI engineers are required to make this for the business. Okay, so I hope you're able to understand why this is needed or where this actually helps. Now, are you able to, now, if you think from a business perspective, don't you think it would be beneficial for your business, even though harsh on employees, but beneficial for your business? And you as a business owner, that's all you care about, your own business, the amount of money you're making in your business. Because ultimately, the money is the reason why you are having a business in the first place, not the employees. Are you able to understand what I'm saying? Are you able to understand what I'm saying? I hope you are. So let's get started on how does this really work. Okay, so there's something called as a agent. Okay, let's try to understand an agent. Let's try to understand an agent. Okay, so think about it like this. Think about it like this. So let's say there are three people. Okay, three writers. Writer one, writer two, writer three. Okay, writer one is is a writer. All of these three people are writers. Writer one, two, and three. So you told writer one, hey writer one, I want a story. Can you think about the theme of the story? For example, science fiction, apocalyptic, or romance, or comedy, or thriller, etc., etc. Can you think of a theme of the story, where it should take place, what kind of setting it should have? You told the writer two to think about characters like what kind of people will be there, how will their personalities be, etc. And then you ask the third writer to combine the theme and the characterization and then create a story using both of them. Or let's say create one paragraph of the story using both of them. So if you make three people work on it, don't you think that you will be getting a story after you have asked the third person? And in this context, how much do you think the third person will take time to create a story? Maybe like 10 minutes. Are you able to understand what I'm saying? Are you understand what I'm saying? Are you understanding what I'm saying? So three writers, each doing, like writer one and writer two are doing something, and writer three's job is dependent on writer one and two. Okay, so here, if you make this to be done by AI, so AI will make this possible with the help of agents. So each writer will become an agent of its own, and when multiple AI applications, or let's say multiple agents, interact within themselves, it is called as multi-agent system. So I have actually created the same multi-agent system that you can see over here. This is a Google collaborative notebook, also called as Google Colab, inside which I have written a lot of Python-related code, which is able to, have the situation where writer one is thinking of the plot and the theme, and writer two is thinking of the character, and writer three is creating the narrative or creating the story's paragraphs. Okay. So using the same situation, I have actually created a multi-agent system that does this job for me. Okay. So if you notice, the first plot was to generate a plot for a short science fiction story about a long lost space colony rediscovered, focusing on a mysterious energy source. So this was the theme of the story. Okay, then characterization. Based on these plot points, create profiles for two main characters. Okay, so there will be how many? Two main characters. Okay, and then we have to write the story. So to the third person, we have said, write the opening paragraph of the story, incorporate the elements from the plot points and introduce the characters, current story, this is this, and so far around. Like that is what we have right now. So, okay, so once we did this, this is what we were actually able to get. Okay, so the first paragraph that we found was a stroke of luck, or the first thread of the snare, the thought was immediate, a code counterpart, counterpoint to the relief that had bloomed in nurtures, etc., etc., etc. So each of these lines is one paragraph of that story, all becoming possible by making use of an agent or three agents in this case. All of these three agents making use of Google Gemini to interact with each other. So using Google Gemini, I technically created three different agents, and now all of these three agents are communicating internally amongst themselves in order to create a system like this. Okay, so this is what is happening. Are you able to understand what I'm saying? So this is the kind of code, or this is the kind of logic that you will be seeing in your entire course outline. Okay, so this is what technically happens. Okay, now let's get back to the presentation. So we did learn about, so far we learned about few things. What are these LLMs? How to create LLM integration. Okay, so we had an example, or we did discuss two things: using a generalized LLM like ChatGPT in your application, something like Amazon, or using specialized LLM like creating your own LLM for your insurance company. Now, how to connect with LLMs? Let's say you want to connect with ChatGPT in your own product. So in order to do that, you might want to use OpenAI's APIs. Okay, this is what you might want to use. So you might want to see API platform, and now you can see view API pricing, and now you can see the price for each of these models. So there are multiple models that OpenAI has created. The latest one and the smartest one out of them all is GPT 4.1, and you can see the price. So the bigger the model, the more expensive it gets. For example, $80 per million tokens, and however, this one GPT 4.1 Nano is only 40 cents per million tokens. So the price difference is great because the performance is also different. Okay, now we need to understand what is this token. What is this token? So there are two types of tokens I want you to talk about. One is the token that OpenAI will give you. So this token is going to be like a unique value which OpenAI will give you against the billing that you have done on OpenAI in order to recognize your requests. Okay, so that on the basis of the number of requests and the type of request made using that token, only then OpenAI will be able to understand how to bill you correctly. Okay, and then this is how it works. And the second token is the tokens that are used inside an LLM. So a token inside the world of an LLM is very much like a word in the dictionary of a human being. So we use words in a dictionary to understand what each word can mean. However, an LLM understands the importance of the similarity between or the meaning of words using tokens. So tokens are basically words inside a dictionary of an LLM. Okay, that is what it happens. So the more complex sentences you write, the higher the token amount will increase. Okay, and every LLM's tokenization can be different. ChatGPT can have a different system, Gemini can have a different system, Llama can have a different system, and so on and on. So each of them can have a different system. So the more number of tokens that you use, the higher amount of money you have to pay. For example, let me show you OpenAI's tokenizer. This is what we have. Okay, so let me write something. Mount Everest is the largest mountain or the highest mountain. So you can see that I have written 51 characters. I have written 51 characters, and in this 51 characters, there are only 10 tokens. Okay, where every word happens to be a token on its own. So every token is highlighted with a unique color. So Mount is a token, Everest is a token, is a token, the is a token, highest is a token, mountain is a token, in is a token, the is a token, and world is a token. Okay, let me write one more thing. He was climbing slowly. Now check this out. He was climbing slowly. Okay, so every word is a token in its own. Okay, let me write. He was doing it anxiously. Okay, so now you can see that in anxiously, the tokenization has broken. Right? Now, if I write one few more sentences, he was he wanted to reach the summit quickly. Okay, so here also everything is one token. All right. So now let me change the language. Let's say I am writing something in English, sorry, Hindi. For example, हम लोग कोडिंग निंजास में पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं. If I give the same prompt to ChatGPT, will ChatGPT be able to understand that we are trying to talk in Hindi? Let's check. See, so if I give this information to ChatGPT, it is able to understand it as Hindi. It says, बहुत बढ़िया, कोडिंग निंजा से काफी अच्छा प्लेटफॉर्म है प्रोग्रामिंग और टेक स्किल्स सीखने के लिए. आप किस कोर्स या ट्रैक में एनरोल्ड हो, डीएसए डेवलपमेंट, डेटा साइंस या फिर कोई और? What I'm trying to say is that even though what we wrote was in Hindi, ChatGPT was able to understand the language, also the alphabets. We did not really have to write in Devanagari script, and it was able to get the job done. For example, if I write some Telugu sentence, Nanu coding ninjas low study chestunnanu. Okay, so I'm writing one Telugu sentence, and if I write this, let's see if it is able to understand that I am writing it in Telugu, and it is. So it says super Nanu coding ninjas low. నేర్చుకుంటాం అంటే చాలా మంచి విషయం, etc., etc., etc. So even right now, what I've done is I've written in Indian language like Hindi and Telugu right now, and it is able to understand and respond in the same manner that the way I've written. So if you look at this tokenizer right now, the tokens are very weird, looking very weird. I think coding and me are the only two words, and kar are the only three words in which the token has not broken. So what I'm trying to say is that every LLM, in this case ChatGPT, has a mapping for a token. Therefore, with the help of these tokens, it is able to understand what the person is trying to say by matching the meaning from each token. Okay, so for English, the number of tokens will be lesser, but for other languages, the number of tokens becomes higher because ChatGPT does not by default understands those languages. So it has to make a different combination of tokens in order to get it. Now, the more number of tokens we use in order to generate a response, the higher the prices we will have to pay on the basis of the pricing that LLM has exposed. Okay, let's try to check something in Kannada also. So, I mean, I stay in Bangalore, of course, I learned Kannada. So let me just write Nanu coding ninjas nalli study. Coding ninjas nalli kaliyuತ್ತಿದ್ದೇನೆ. Okay, so this is in Kannada. And now you can see the answer is in Kannada. Right? So it just works. Okay, it just works. So this is what tokenization means. So these LLMs are able to understand other different programming, different spoken languages as well. So if I go to Gemini, and let me just write the same text, copying the Kannada one and pasting it over here. So you can see now it is actually responding in the Kannada alphabet. That's even more beyond amazing, right? First, it understood that what I'm trying to say is in Kannada, and then it's responding to me in Kannada alphabet. But what if I don't know how to read Kannada alphabet, which I know, but anyway, let's see what it does in Telugu. I copy it, paste it. One mistake I did, it should be Nenu, not Nanu, in Telugu. Yeah, so now it's responding in Telugu. Let's see what it does in Hindi. It responds in Hindi. Isn't it amazing? So the tokenization for Gemini and ChatGPT may or may not be the same. In most cases, it will not be the same. Okay, so depending, let's say you are using the same LLM at the same pricing, but if you get two responses, also the pricing can be different because the tokenization can be different. So that's what I wanted you to understand. Okay, so yeah, now let's move back to the presentation that I have. So this is what we have started. So in most cases, these tokens or these models are not free. Yeah, they are not free. So we need to use them wisely. Okay, so now you might be wondering why right now it's the right time for AI, or is it really a hype, or is this really the future? So if the CEOs of Google, Microsoft, and OpenAI say that this is the next industry revolution, the question at this point isn't really if you should learn GenAI, it's about when you should learn GenAI. And the answer is yesterday, because right now also so many things that have happened, we are not able to catch up. So the sooner you start, the better it gets. Okay, so many of you would be inspired. Okay, but let's not sugarcoat what lies ahead if you choose to do this alone. So there's a brutal truth: even most motivated developers will drop off just because they're overwhelmed with a lot of new technologies. When I started learning AI, I mean, what was I? I was a full stack engineer with a touch of data analytics and machine learning. When I started GenAI, everything was very new to me. Didn't really understand a lot of terms, and then I was like, I'm already good at something. Why should I learn something new? Because I have to. And then most people would actually give up. But then the reality is that it is overwhelming for sure, but it should not be something that is a viable reason for you to give up. Okay. So everything you just saw today maps directly into the modules in our program. So if you're really serious about making this your career direction, do not try to wing it alone. Follow a proven roadmap. So this is the kind of roadmap that we have for all of you inside the course. Okay, this is the kind of roadmap that I have for all of you inside the course. So you can study a lot of things, like understand the differences between AI versus ML and deep learning, Gen AI platforms, ethics, etc. And you can also learn how to use an LLM API. What is NLP? What is RAG? What is advanced RAG? Multi-agent systems, deployment, and orchestration. It's for 6 months. It will be live classes on every Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. That is 3 hours. And you will also have a one-on-one AI-powered doubt support, as well as a success partner who will help you in every small to bigger doubts that you will be having. Okay, so that's what you should be getting. Okay, that's what you should be getting. I've also pasted a link inside the chat box, and this link contains a scholarship as eligibility form as well. You can use you can fill up this form for booking a one-on-one expert call, and you can also use the coupon code mentor30 for 30,000 rupees off, which is valid only for 24 hours after I've shared this form. So this is the structure part that you would not find on YouTube or anywhere else. So even if you're not sure right now, please fill up the form and talk to the team. You may decide later, but please do not delay. Okay. Now I will open the podium for any questions and answers that anybody might have. So please come up and ask me your questions if you have something. I will have to take a hard stop at 8 or maybe like 7:58. But I would welcome all of you to ask me any questions that you have. Preferably, if you can put your questions on the Q&A section of the Zoom meeting. That would be the right place for asking questions. So anybody, any questions? Okay. Will the course be free or paid? Of course, it will be paid course. So it's going to be a paid course. You will be learning a lot of things, especially the multi-agent systems and LangChain, LangGraph. So those things will be extremely nice. I think you will really enjoy learning all of those things. And yeah, that's most of it. What will be the price of the course? I think Ishika, who is here with us from Coding Ninja's site, she will be able to help you more on that. What languages we need to learn? If I know React and .NET Core, will it be okay? Yes, but for GenAI, I think Python will also become an important thing for you to learn. Any more questions? When is it starting? So like I said, Ishika will be able to help you with those questions. Job assistance will be there in the course. I think yes, it will be there. I am a fresher and I have basic knowledge of data science and machine learning. Will this course suit me? Yes, it will. It will certainly suit you. It will absolutely suit you. So if you know Python, even if you know nothing other than Python, it is still fine. You can get started. For this course, should we know development? A little bit, yes. But even if you do not have any development experience, that is still okay, not a problem. How will it, if one second, will it be helpful for approx 20 years of experience in C++, C# on Windows application? Yes, why not? Sure, absolutely. Is it required to learn ML, AI, and deep learning differently? No. If you take this course, you should be able to have all of them right at your doorstep. So it would not be a problem for you at all. How difficult is it to learn LLM development? Well, at the start, it can sound a little bit difficult for sure, but it won't be extremely difficult. I mean, you will be able to do it. I'm pretty sure on that. You will be able to do it. Python is mandatory in this case. Yes. Can't we use Java? Well, I mean, I would love to if we could, but I think it would not be possible. I don't know Python. That's fine. You can learn Python with us. That should not be a problem. That shouldn't be a problem. Any more questions? I'm a modern stack developer. How will it benefit me? Will this course help me to get job in AI? I mean, referrals. Yes, absolutely, it will. How much math do we need for this course? Not a lot, but definitely a little bit. That should be it. Okay, so now it's 7:57. I would like to hand over the stage to Ms. Ishika, who is a representative from CN over here, if she would like to share something to all of you regarding this course. So if you have any questions related to the price and how long will this be and when it starts, I think Ishika will be the right person to answer those questions. So Ishika, over to you.
Okay, so first of all, thank you so much for such an insightful and informative session taken. Now, before winding up the session, I'll just be giving you an overview of what we are actually providing, being the part of this program by Coding Ninjas. So, if we talk about some highlights of this program, so this will be a 6 months live program wherein once upon enrollment, you will be getting a welcome kit through us, which will be having a letter, T-shirt, zipper kind of things. You will have your orientation done from IT Mandi, and you'll be getting some guest lectures that too from IT Mandi itself. Once upon successful completion of the program, you will have a 1 day campus immersion for certification ceremony, 10 plus GenAI projects to work upon your skill sets, to practically implement, to sharpen your skill sets, whatever you have learned being the part of this program. Uh, 24/7 AI support so that you can clear all the doubts and queries, whatever you have then and there in the portal itself. So you'll not have to wait for another live class, another mentor to be available to join in and help with the doubts. With the help of 24/7 AI support, you'll be able to clear all the doubts and queries then and there itself. Career services, wherein we'll be helping you with resume review. You'll have the job portal access of NSDC as well, so that you can hunt for the job roles. And after a successful completion of the program, after successful upskillment, you'll find yourself ideal to hunt for the job roles like GenAI Engineer, multi-agent systems developer, and many more job roles, guys. So once again, this was just an overview. If you want to know more about it, you can simply go into the chat box. There is this form link. Click on the link, fill in your basic details, and get a chance to get in connect with our counselors one-on-one. As that will be a one-on-one conversation, so you'll be able to clear all your doubts and queries then and there as well. We'll be helping you to deep dive into it to know exactly how this can impact your goals that you have set for yourself. May it be growing into the same domain that you're working, may it be changing out of the domain, whatever the requirements you have, we'll be helping you out to understand it in the best way possible, to deep dive into it. And then after the whole discussion, if it seems like this is something that you are looking for, this is something a perfect fit for you, we'll be helping you to get enrolled in one of our upcoming batches as well, guys. So this was it from my end, guys. I'll just be waiting for another 1 to 2 minutes before winding up the session, so that the people who have not filled in the form yet can still do so, and then we'll be calling our master class for the day. Okay, so once again, thank you so much for your lovely participation into the masterclass, guys. We hope to see each and every one of you in our upcoming batches for the program itself. Till then, best of luck, guys. The masterclass is over now. Good night.